Good morning to all. You complete this. Try to join early. Those who are joining late. So we have been doing with the problem to find out the characteristic impedance Z0, and where we have used the equation by finding out which one it is H less than 0.8 W. So by using that process, whether it is for narrow or wide, all those things we have calculated, and we have started with the process of solving the problem. So the problem what you have to find out is Z0, the micro of a microstrip line, given that the thickness of the dielectric substrate is 170, H is 175, and thickness of the strip is 70 microns, with W is 250 microns, and the dielectric constant of the substrate material is 4.5. So anyone of you have completed this, you can just substitute these values and you can solve it. So all of you try to solve the problem by substituting the values there for each parameter, and you can simplify that further. So it's very important for you to understand which is that equation you have to use, whether it is for wide microstrip line or for narrow microstrip line. So that is very important for you to understand. See, try to do the calculations.
48.483.
Yeah, fine. So that is correct. So you will be getting that. So all of you try to complete it. So all of you have completed. You got the answer? So all of you got the answer, 48.48. So respond to me. Have you got the answer 48.48 or still you are doing it? You are still doing it? Yeah, completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us go with the next problem. So you just find out that how to solve this problem. You have done already two problems. So you just let me know which equation you are going to use here. So here you want to calculate the characteristic impedance. So here you want to calculate the characteristic impedance, and so of a wide microstrip line. So this is the Z0 you have to calculate. The previous answer is 48.48. So you have to calculate the characteristic impedance of a wide microstrip line having negligible thickness and having a width of 0.8 millimeter. The thickness of the substrate is 0.2 millimeter and has a dielectric constant of 3.55. So you just find out, see the thing what you have to understand here is you have to say that which equation you are going to use here to find out the characteristic impedance. You can just try it out. So which equation you are going to use for Z naught? You find out the ratio and then decide which equation you are going to use. So anyone has tried to do it? Anyone has done the problem? Any equation, which equation you have selected for that problem to solve?
Wide microstrip, sir.
Okay, correct. So continue that and just let me know that what is the answer for that. So anyone got the answer? Okay, fine. You have to do using the wide microstrip line. So it's a very simple one. So you have all of you got 50.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have to use Z naught is equal to 377 divided by root of epsilon r h divided by w, and you get it as 50 ohm. So I think all of you might have completed. Then we will move on to the losses in microstrip line. So you can just write down the heading losses in microstrip line. Add on the heading losses in microstrip line. So losses in microstrip line is very important topic and mostly asked in university question papers. So here you can just draw this figure where you know that you're going to keep a strip conductor of width W and thickness T, and the height of the dielectric substrate is H, and you have it on top of the ground plane. So this is what you're going to get it. So the same figure, so the strip conductor, you can see it is having a thickness of T and width of W. On top of the dielectric substrate epsilon r, so the down portion will be the ground plane. So once you complete the problem, you can just draw this figure. So write down the microstrip line has the copper strip, as we have already studied, which is placed on the dielectric substrate and has a width W and thickness of T. So here we are going to study the losses which are going to take place in the microstrip line. So we'll be studying different types of losses like dielectric losses and all, radiation losses and all. So we'll be studying one after the other. So this is very important topic to be discussed for as on point of internals and university. So you can just write down these things. So all of you can just write down this basics which you have already studied before. So we are going to use this concepts in order to find out the losses in microstrip line. So write down the heading losses in microstrip line. So you can see that the height of the dielectric substrate is H and width of the strip conductor is W with a thickness of T, and which is placed on the ground plane. So they are widely used in both microwave and computer technology. So in addition to that, two characteristics of microstrip line are mainly characteristic impedance and velocity of the wave propagation. It is called it is another characteristics of the line is called attenuation. So you know that there when you pass on the signal through any of the surface, you will be having some losses as well as you will having some attenuation process where you will see when if you are it's a normal concept of any communication system that when you pass on the signal through a long distance of propagation, when you pass it through a longer distance, the signals will have some losses as well as signals will get attenuated as well. So we need to find out that what are the different losses which is going to take place when you are transmitting the signal through a micro strip line, and how this edges and all is going to react when you are passing the signal through a width of W and the thickness of T, which is placed on the dielectric substrate epsilon r of height H, which is on the ground plane. So these are the things we are going to see. We'll study. This is just an introduction about the losses, and we'll see each loss like dielectric losses and all those things in detail with some specific equations. So once you complete it, you just let me know that we'll continue further with the equations and with each loss in detail. So have you completed this figure? See, have you you're doing it, I hope so.
Done, sir.
It's over?
Yes.
Shall we continue further? Everyone has completed? So some of you can respond. If you have completed, we'll go further. Bhumika?
Sir, we're writing, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. I'll wait. Then we'll start further. So once you complete it, just let me know that. Then we'll proceed further with further explanations.
Finished, sir.
Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss here, the losses in microstrip line. So we have understood that the strips are made up of copper and which is placed on top of the dielectric substrate, which is having a thickness of W and thickness of T and width of W. And we also seen that the height of the dielectric constant is H and which is placed on the ground plane. And we also have understood that when a signal is being transmitted through any strip or any conductor or anything, when the signal travels through the space, you will have some losses as well as the attenuation is also going to take place. So we are going to calculate all these parameters and we are going to find out the process of attenuation as well as the losses which is going to occur in the microstrip line. So we will continue this here. So depending on the frequency of operation we have seen, and you have some of the factors like some and the conductors and also on geometric factors. So it depends on the shape of the conductor and all those things as well. And the dielectric substrate, three types of losses I have told you before. We are here, the main thing is that we have to understand about the losses. So there are three types of losses which are most dominant in microstrip mode of operation, and the first one is called as a dielectric loss in substrate. Second one is called as a ohmic loss in the strip conductor on and the ground plane, and the third one is called as the radiation losses. So these are the three main losses which are going to take place in the microstrip line. So we are going to discuss upon all these three losses in detail. So dielectric loss, ohmic skin loss and radiation loss. So we are going to see each thing, its calculations, its equations, and how to find out the dielectric loss, how to find out the ohmic loss and radiation losses of a microstrip line. So these are the three losses which take place, and so any signal passing through any of the conductors, there will be losses, and it's all because of these parameters. You can calculate the losses and you can make sure that how much signal is being transmitted at the other end. So you can just write down these three losses and then we'll discuss all the three losses in detail, and it is almost 8 marks to 10 marks question to explain the losses in microstrip line. So have you completed all the three means we'll see each loss in detail. So completed. So first one we are going to see the dielectric loss. So this topics as I have told you, the module 3 is quite easy. Only thing is that you will come across around 20 to 25 equations which you need to study. Other than that, you can find that this module is very easy to score and get complete marks. There will be no twisted questions and all those things. You can see that whatever questions it is there in the university question paper also, it will be keep on repeating. So I want you to prepare this module well, because only problem is if you are not studying the equations properly, you might forget at the time of examination when you are writing it in the sheet of paper. So that is what practice you need to do with more equations, understanding those things. If possible, you note down the equations of all from module 1 till whatever we have studied in a sheet of paper, revise those equations. It will be easy for you to understand these things further. So shall we explain with the dielectric laws? So to find out the dielectric laws, we'll be having few equations to do with, and with that we'll be finding out the dielectric losses of the microstrip line. So I'll start explaining dielectric laws. You can just listen to me, and then we will. I'll make you to write those things which is important for you. So just listen for the dielectric losses. So dielectric losses means the dielectric material passes some conductivity rho, and we know that it should be less than omega epsilon. And when the conductivity is not negligible, then the displacement current density leads. So here what we can see is the current density. So the displacement current density, this will lead the conduction current density by 90 degree. So that is what we can see by thus introducing a loss in the system. So this is explained with the figure. So you can see that J sigma is sigma epsilon E, and JD is J omega epsilon E, and you have that theta here. Theta component is tan inverse of sigma by omega epsilon. So here it is 1 second. Here you can see 1 second. It is here. You can see that this portion, it is a tan inverse of sigma divided by omega epsilon. So this is J sigma is equal to sigma E, and you have all this notations here. Js is sigma plus j omega epsilon E. So what you can see here is you can see that this component, that is this component, and this component. So it is a 90 degree difference is there. That is, it leads the conductor current density by 90 degrees. So you can see that J sigma and JD. So that is the one. You can see that it is the displacement current density is called as JD, and the conductor current density is called as J sigma. So what you can see here is J sigma and JD. It leads by 90 degree, and you get the component called as JS. So I'll just remove this off. So these are the components available here. What you have to understand here is the displacement current density is going to lead the conductor current density by 90 degrees. So the displacement current density is represented as JD, and so you can see here, one second. So you can see here JD. So this JD is going to lead the J sigma by 90 degree. That's what here the diagram is drawn. So JD is this, it is J omega epsilon E, and J sigma is sigma E, and you can see that all these things. So all these notations you can just note down, and the displacement current density leads the current density by 90 degree. So when you do that, the dielectric attenuation constant can be calculated. It is given as alpha D. So alpha D can be written as sigma divided by 2 root of mu by epsilon. This you need to study for the attenuation constant. Sigma is called as the conductivity of the dielectric substrate, and we are going to use the dielectric losses. So from this equation, from this figure, you can write tan theta. So tan theta can be written as sigma by omega epsilon. So these equations, that is alpha D and tan theta, all tan theta you can get it from the figure, that is sigma by omega epsilon, and by using all these equations you are going to simplify it further. So let us see that you got tan theta as sigma by omega epsilon, and alpha D is sigma divided by 2 root of mu by epsilon. So what I am going to do here is I can get the equation for this, that is omega epsilon tan theta. So I have just substituted here. So you can see here that in place of this one, I have substituted in this equation for sigma. So I get alpha D is equal to omega epsilon. So I get it as omega epsilon tan theta divided by 2 root of mu by epsilon. So this is what you are going to get for alpha D, and further when you simplify it, you can just see that it can get cancelled and all those things. So the we will end up with alpha D is equal to omega by 2 root of mu epsilon tan theta. That's what you're going to get the simplified equation for alpha D. So once you find out the alpha D, then we'll see further how this can be substituted the values. So the above, the space above the microstrip is air, and where you can see that, that's what I have already explained you before. So this space, so if you take this conductor, if you take this point, so if you take this position, you can see that this portion is dielectric substrate, but this portion top of it is air substrate. So so you will be having the combination of both. You have seen that the fields will rotate both in the dielectric space as well as non-dielectric space as well. So the space above the microstrip is air, where there is no dielectric losses, but below the microstrip there is non-magnetic dielectric substrate, and you know that it is in quasi TEM mode of operation as well. We have discussed in the beginning. So when you use these things, you can just write it as alpha D is equal to, you can remodify the equation and you can write it as alpha D is equal to 1.634. So this equation you have to study. You are not deriving it from anywhere. You are directly writing the equation for alpha D as 1.634 to 10 to the power of 3 q sigma by root of epsilon Re, where 1 Nepper indicates 8.686 dB. So this is epsilon Re is the effective dielectric constant. So this is what you can see. So we have to do so much of equations there. Here Q is called as the dielectric filling factor, and it is called as epsilon Re minus 1 by epsilon R minus 1. So all these things we have to do. I will not mix up now. So first let us complete it till alpha D, and then we'll continue further with the rest of the things. So we'll just go ahead with the dielectric losses, where you have the equation for alpha D. So you can just note down these things, and further we'll continue with the equation for alpha D. So you can just write those things, and we will continue. It's a lengthy. It's little bit. You have some few equations to go ahead with. It's audible for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you completed that? Till where you have completed? Arshita.
Scroll down, sir.
Okay. So all of you can complete it till here, the equation for alpha d, and from there onwards we'll continue further. That we'll stop it here for alpha d. Equation for alpha d is equal to 0.634 10 to the power of 3 q sigma divided by root of epsilon re. So we'll stop it there, and we'll continue further in the next class. So all of you complete it till there. So is that clear for you till that equation? Is that clear for you till that equation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will continue from that further later on from this equation in the next class. So little bit of substitutions are there and simplifications are there. So you just complete it till 1 Nepper is equal to 8.686 dB, and epsilon Re is effective dielectric constant of the substrate. So we'll continue from there on in the next class. So we will stop it here. So all of you can complete it till that equation for alpha d, and we'll discuss about the continuation of this dielectric losses further on in the next class. So thank you all. So once you complete, you can leave. So thanks to everyone for today's class. We'll continue further from equation for alpha d onwards in the next class. Thank you.